days of Ranger School. I have served in various light and airborne infantry units, most recently as a platoon sergeant with the 4th Infantry Division. Currently, I'm assigned to Bravo Company, 4th Ranger Training Battalion. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the history of the American Rangers is a long and colorful one. The proud heritage dates back to 400 years. During the American colonial period, Rangers' techniques and methods during operations were inherent characteristics of our frontiersmen. As early as the 1700s, these frontiersmen, commonly referred to as Rangers, took patrol from New England to the Carolinas in defense against the Indians. Probably the most famous and successful of these early Ranger units, though, was Rogers Rangers, established in 1756 by Major Robert Rogers. Eventually, over 400 Ranger units would be established by leaders such as Merrill, Mosby, Morgan, and Darby. Their success and gallantry in combat is legendary. In World War II, Ranger battalions would serve from the Mediterranean to the South Pacific, and they would lead the way onto the beaches of Normandy. During the Korean conflict, volunteers trained right here at Fort Benning, and they were developed into 18 airborne Ranger companies, 7 of which saw combat during the conflict, upholding the high Ranger standards for courage and daring. Then Ranger companies would go on to deploy to the Republic of Vietnam. From the Delta to the DMZ, they would conduct long-range reconnaissance and surveillance-type operations, which would act as the eyes and ears for commanders in the field. Then in 1983, 1st and 2nd Ranger Battalions would lead the way by conducting an airborne assault onto the island of Grenada. During this same time period, the activation of the Ranger Regiment, the establishment of light divisions, and a renewed emphasis on mid-to-low-tier intensity conflict increased the importance of Ranger training. This was evident in December of 1989, when the 75th Ranger Regiment, along with heavy, light, and special operations forces, accomplished their mission during Operation Just Cause. More recently, Ranger qualified leaders were vital in the success of Operations Desert Storm, Restore Hope in Somalia, Uphold Democracy in Haiti, Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan, and Operation Iraqi Freedom. Now, the Ranger course is 61 days in duration. It's divided into 3 phases, with each phase being conducted at a separate geographical location. The Benning phase of Ranger School is 3 weeks long, conducted here at Fort Benning by the 4th Ranger Training Battalion, followed by an additional 3 weeks in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Dahlonega, Georgia, which is conducted by the 5th Ranger Training Battalion. And then finally, you have 3 more weeks in the Florida swamps at Eglin Air Force Base, Florida, which is conducted by the 6th Ranger Training Battalion. Now, the purpose of the Ranger course is to develop competent leaders in their Ranger tactical tasks, so that upon completion of the course, they can return back to their unit and conduct Ranger fight training, thus increasing the overall high training standards that exist in the United States Army today. The Ranger course is realistic, rugged, and to a degree hazardous. The Ranger student is taxed both physically and mentally during their 9-week duration of the course. In summary, we believe that the Ranger course is the highest state of combat preparedness training that exists in the United States Army today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we will now showcase some of the tactics and techniques that the Rangers are taught to use. I will be followed by Sergeant First Class Diver, the United States Army Ranger.
I am Sergeant First Class Zizer, instructor here at the Benning phase of Ranger School. I have served in various light and airborne infantry units, most recently as platoon sergeant in the 10th Mountain Division. I am currently assigned to Bravo Company, 4th Ranger Training Battalion. The first technique the Rangers are trained to use, demolitions. Extensive demolition training enables the Rangers to attack and destroy a wide variety of objectives. Although there are several different types of explosives, composition C4 is the one that is most commonly used. As you can see, it is a white plastic explosive that can be cut and molded into any shape. Due to the pliability of this explosive, it is used to construct a variety of expedient charges. Charges such as the ribbon charge. The ribbon charge is used to cut a regular shape of flat steel targets, as shown here. Next, we have the shape charge. Shape charge is used against any hard surface objectives such as roads or vehicles. It can be easily improvised using a type of cone-shaped material. This one was constructed using a number 10 can, and we've created a cone shape out of the C4. Please notice that all charges are dual primed to ensure positive detonation. Next is the timber cutting charge. Now, there are various methods used to emplace this charge. We can either have it as we do here, with the charge placed on one side of the tree, and the kicker charge placed further up on the tree, or you can simply cut one section of the tree, place the C4 into the cut, while once again placing the kicker charge further up on the tree to ensure direction of fall. Or you can encircle the entire tree with something like a ribbon charge. All demolitions are primed using the modernized demolition initiators, commonly referred to as MDIs. MDIs consist of high-strength and low-strength blasting caps attached to various lengths of time fuse or shock tube. These blasting caps, along with detonating cord and fuse igniters, are used to construct a variety of firing systems. Ladies and gentlemen, here we have a training board that showcases some of the various firing systems and demolitions accessories the Rangers are trained to use. First, the M81 fuse igniter. These are used to ignite either the time fuse or the shock tube. Next, the M14 time fuse with a length of 5 feet and a burn time of approximately 5 minutes. This is used to detonate standard military explosives. Next, we have the M21 and the M23 firing devices. These have factory-attached M81s, and these are also used to detonate military explosives. At the bottom of the board, we have some of the explosives the Rangers are trained to use. First, M1 dynamite. We have the M112 C4 block, the flex linear charge, and TNT. Ladies and gentlemen, if you will focus your attention to the far side of the pond, there you will see a connex where we will use a flex linear charge to blow the doors open. You will also witness the detonation of some of these other expedient charges. Now we have targets from previous demonstrations. First, the rhythm charge. Notice the smooth, clean cut effect. Next, we have the shape charge. Please notice the large hole run over the 5-inch steel plate. And finally, when employed properly, composition C4 is capable of falling any size tree. Ranger! Ladies and gentlemen, now that you've seen some of the many uses and capabilities of composition C4, a few of its characteristics are that it is virtually insensitive to shock or friction, and will most likely not detonate if struck by a small arms fire or due to rough handling. Sergeant King, you got to be really careful with this.
Come on, man, I'm trying to find you.
Well, make sure we're safe. I'm sure the crowd wants to check it out. Ladies and gentlemen, composition C4 is absolutely insensitive to shock or friction. It can even be beaten around with a stick with no fear of detonation. Ranger! The next technique the Rangers are trained to use is military mountaineering. I'll be followed by Sergeant First Class Morgan. He is a United States Army Ranger.
I'm Sergeant First Class Morgan, an instructor here at the Benning Phase of Ranger School. I've served with various light infantry units, most recently as a platoon sergeant in the 101st Airborne Division. I'm currently assigned to Alpha Company, 4th Ranger Training Battalion. Rappelling is an integral part of the mountaineering instruction taught at the Ranger course. It's taught for several reasons. First, it teaches the individual to overcome an inherent fear of heights. Second, it builds confidence in the individual and teaches them an additional capability. The Ranger student once again learns there is virtually no impassable terrain to determine well-trained and well-led force. In order to rappel, certain items of mountaineering equipment are essential. First, the Colonel rope. This rope is 150 feet in length, 11 millimeters in diameter, and has a tensile strength of 4,800 pounds. Additionally, it has a characteristic of a lack of elasticity, meaning it will only stretch up to 2% under working conditions. Rangers are also trained in the use of the Army Mountaineering Kit, or AMK. The AMK is comprised of a nylon harness assembly, a figure-8 friction adapter, and a locking snap link with a tensile strength of 2,000 pounds. Additionally, leather working gloves are worn to protect the hands. To rappel, the Ranger simply faces the climbing rope with the anchor point on the left-hand side. He secures the vital rope and then inserts it up through the larger lower opening of the figure 8 device and into the locking snap link, which he then tightens. If he has not done so already, the ranger will go ahead and don his leather working gloves. To begin his descent, the ranger faces the climbing point and simply walks backwards down the surface of the cliff. Should the need arise for him to stop during his descent, he simply tightens his grip with his right hand, which acts as his brake hand, supports his body weight, and controls his rate of descent. The left hand simply acts as a balancing or stabilizing agent. To continue his descent, the ranger simply loosens his grip with his right hand and continues down the surface of the cliff. In some cases, it may become necessary to haul personnel and equipment up a vertical surface. In order to do so, rangers are trained in the use of the vertical haul line, which is consisting of a large, heavy 8-frame structure constructed and lashed together at the top of the cliff, with sufficient rope to reach the ground. The rope is then ran through a pulley or a locking snap link at the apex of the 8-frame. The ends of the rope are then tied together, creating what is known as an endless rope. On opposite ends of the rope are tied 2 butterfly knots. To begin his ascent, the ranger simply engages his locking snap link to the butterfly knot and begins his climb to the top. The rangers on the ground assist by pulling down on the rope. As the ranger goes up, the second butterfly knot comes down, allowing for the next ranger to engage their locking snap link and begin their climb to the top. Another type of rappel the ranger is taught is the Australian rappel. The Australian rappel allows the ranger to face in the direction of his descent. He utilizes his left hand as his brake hand, thus freeing up his right hand to fire his weapon should the need arise during his descent. Should a ranger become slightly injured or wounded, all rangers are trained in multiple casualty evacuation techniques, the first of which is the buddy rappel. The casualty is secured to the ranger by means of a nylon runner and a locking snap link to the ranger's own locking snap link. The casualty rides in front of and across the lap of the ranger. As the ranger rappels down, should the casualty require additional first aid, the ranger can simply brake and apply it. After that critical life-saving aid has been rendered, the ranger can go ahead and continue down to the ground. You may recall the terms on rappel and off rappel being utilized by the demonstrators. The term on rappel implies that the ranger is ready to begin his descent and to be on the lookout for any falling block of debris. The term off rappel is utilized once the ranger is touched down on the ground to clear the rope and is free for the next ranger to begin their descent. Another type of insertion technique the ranger is taught is the fast rope insertion and extraction system, or more commonly referred to as SPIES. The SPIES system consists of a 3-inch diameter hemp rope that is 60 feet in length and secured to an aircraft by means of a modified H-pin. In a few moments, you'll see an aircraft approach the demonstration area. This aircraft is a UH-60 Black Hawk helicopter with an ACL, or allowable cargo load, of 13 combat-equipped rangers. In a few moments, you will see a 4-man ranger team inserted into the demonstration area on the far side of the pond. The first action you will observe is the aircraft commander stabilizing his aircraft over the target area. Once the aircraft is stabilized, the SPIES rope will be thrown from the aircraft. Once the rope has been deployed, the rangers will begin their descent. Utilizing this method of insertion, a ranger recon team can be inserted into a heavily vegetated or urban environment in a very short period of time. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the demonstration area on the far side of the pond. Display rappel is not the only type of casualty evacuation technique the Ranger was taught. Extraction by hoist utilizes the UH-60 Black Hawk helicopter and sked tow. As you'll notice on the demonstration sked tow located to your front, the casualty is secured within the sked tow with sufficient rope routed throughout the exterior holes. The ends of the rope are then secured above the casualty's head by means of the lock and snap link. In a few moments, you'll see an aircraft approach the demonstration area. As soon as the aircraft arrives, the first action that you will see is the aircraft commander stabilizing the aircraft over the designated target area. Once the aircraft is stabilized, the combat medic will be lowered down to the ground. Once on the ground, the combat medic will move to the casualty and begin his assessment. The Ranger Recon team on the ground will provide local security at the pickup site and assist in the extraction. Once the combat medic has finished his assessment of the casualty, he will move to the winch, engage the locking snap link, and signal up to the aircraft commander. The aircraft commander will then hoist the casualty straight up and recover them into the aircraft before moving out to the nearest medical treatment facility. The Rangers on the ground will assist in the use of a tagline. The tagline prevents the oscillation of the sked tow and prevents any further injury to the casualty. In most cases, the combat medic and the casualty will be hoisted into the aircraft together. However, in some cases, it may become necessary for them to be hoisted into the aircraft separately. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the demonstration area on the far side of the pond. Serving in the United States Army, every infantry battalion is equipped with a reconnaissance platoon. The reconnaissance platoon is composed of a recon and a sniper section that is made up primarily of Ranger qualified personnel. The primary mission of a recon team is to identify enemy personnel and equipment on the battlefield and report these locations back directly to the commander, thus enabling the commander to maneuver his elements on the battlefield in order to defeat the enemy. Because these recon teams are highly skilled and will be called upon to perform hazardous missions of various climates and terrains, Special extraction techniques have been devised, such as the Special Patrol Insertion and Extraction System, or more commonly referred to as SPIES. The SPIES system consists of a 2-in-1 type braided nylon rope that is 1 inch in diameter and 120 feet in length. Additionally, a nylon harness is worn by each ranger to be suspended from the rope. In a few moments, you'll see 4-man reconnaissance teams being extracted by a SPIES rig on the far side of the pond. The first action you'll observe is the aircraft commander, once again, stabilizing his aircraft over the target area. Once the aircraft is stabilized, a rope bag will be thrown from the aircraft. The SPIES rope is thrown within the bag to ensure it does not become entangled underneath the aircraft. Once the rope is on the ground, the recon team will move forward, engage the lacking snap links, and signal up to the aircraft commander. Should they receive effective small arms fire, they can be suppressed and neutralized by the 240 mounted within the aircraft. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the demonstration area on the far side of the pond.